Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now this might seem a bit left field, but stay with me as I talk you through a tale of palace intrigue, backstabbing and political maneuverings. So goings on in the APC and the Nigerian presidency is what we're talking about in this video, and the main characters that we're looking to contend with in these videos are Rufai, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Rotimi Amechi, Adams Oshiomhole, Fashola, etc. So all the big names are in play. So now the Nigerian presidency 2023, I think, is the next upcoming. So the Nigerian 2023 election is what we are really looking to discuss in this video, and the conversation that we're looking to have is who is going to be the next Nigerian president. So we're looking really within the APC field, because we know the APC have no intentions of letting go of power. We saw that with the last election when they rigged themselves in. So whoever the next APC candidate is stands a good chance of being the next Nigerian president. But who will be the next APC presidential candidate? So that's really the topic, the subject of this video. So now what we're looking at are the main players. Now we have an unspoken agreement within the Nigerian firmament that power will transit from north to south and south to north every 4 8-year terms. So no more than a 2-term for a particular region of the country. So now we have Buhari in situ at the moment, and he's in his second term, subject to whatever Atiku finds at the electoral panel, but for the moment he's in his second term. So now that second term of Buhari then means that power then has to transit to the south after he has completed his second term. That is the unspoken agreement. That is how peace is maintained in Nigeria, and this is what we have agreed. So now the next president obviously first has to come from the south. That one is the unspoken agreement, but which part of the south is first a question, and then is it going to come from the south is the next question. So first let's deal with the first question. So let's go with the agreement that we have in place already, that power will transit from north to south and south to north every 4 8 years, you know. So let's go with that as an unspoken agreement, and let's agree that that will be honored. We're not agreeing that that will be honored, but let's for the moment agree that that will be honored. So if that was honored, then power should transit to the south. So now if power transits to the south, then who then gets to go? So who gets to go is the next question. So now the south is split into 2 regions broadly. I mean, there are more regions in the south than 2, but it's split rather into 2 main ethnicities. So we have the Yorubas obviously, and then we have the Igbos obviously as well. So now the Igbos have always agitated about marginalization, that they are marginalized and they are continually being punished for the civil war, and nobody is letting them near the levers of power. So this agitation has been going strong, and that was one of the reasons, by the way, why Atiku Abubakar chose Peter Obi as his running mate for the last round of elections that's just gone, just to tap into that Igbo sentiment and to get that Igbo vote en masse. And really there is really an argument to be had there, that the country has never really had an Igbo president. I know yes, a lot of you will refer to Nnamdi Azikiwe and all that, but Nnamdi Azikiwe really was never really the president. He was the president, yes, but Ahmedu Bello was a prime minister, which is where the power base was under that particular structure that we had then. So he was more a ceremonial, a nominal president than an actual functioning president with the powers of presidency, because the power of the state was was vested in the prime minister, which was Ahmed Bello. So Nnamdi Azikiwe, really, when people throw up that name, is a bit of a misnomer because it wasn't really with all of the attributes and the accoutrements of state. He didn't really have the levers of power. So let's set that to one side. So we've never really had an Igbo president, and this is one of the reasons why Ojukwu did what he did in that time, and his friends, I can't remember, Ifeanyi or something, I can't remember all the names of the players in the Civil War, but yeah, that was, so effectively the point I'm making is that the Igbos have never really had the running of Nigeria, and they have been agitating, and you have this little upstart now, Nnamdi Kanu, making all this noise, that is eye-popping it and all whatnot, whatever he's saying, is a London boy pretending to be in Nigeria. I don't know what his game is, but he's now tapping off that zeitgeist, you know. So we have that marginalization sentiment within the Igbo sector of the Nigerian space. So there's an argument for an Igbo president, but then the Yorubas always have an argument for the presidency. They are proven, they are intellects, you know, they've never really had a proper go, and they would argue that they've never really had a go as a fully fledged entity, because Obasanjo, of course, was installed by the living militaries because they wanted their own military person there. So the Yorubas have never really taken ownership of Obasanjo, so they will argue that Obasanjo was nothing to do with them, and it was more the Northerners installing their yes man into place, because they expected Obasanjo to be a yes man, which he eventually did not turn out to be. But the Yorubas have never really taken ownership of Obasanjo, and he has never really taken ownership of the Yoruba either. So the Obasanjo, to all intents and purposes, he carries a Yoruba name, but he's a Northerner to a lot of Yoruba people. So we cast him to one side. So that is where our argument is to have a go again. And I'm saying we because I'm Yoruba too, but I'm not really making an argument for a Yoruba person. I'm just a commentator putting stuff out there. So that's where the first argument is. So who gets to go? So now the name really that is coming to the fore is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been positioning himself to make sure that he is the only standout name within the southern hemisphere, because every name that's tried to pop up here has managed to douse them down. So Fashola, he's already installed in a place, so he's got Fashola already on lockdown. Oshibanjo, nobody is really expecting Oshibanjo to be the next Nigerian president, because Oshibanjo is far too intellectual for the position, and then you need a strong man for Nigeria rather than an intellectual. We've already experienced that with Goodluck Jonathan, where we had an intellectual who was trying to be civilized, and we also what happened to him. So Nigeria doesn't need an intellectual. Nigeria needs a strong man, because a strong man really is the sort of tempo, the taste of the Nigerian space. So now we discount Oshibanjo as well. So Fashola we discount too. And the reason why, by the way, I'm going to do a separate video on this, but just to mention the reason why Tinubu rather got rid of Ambode was really, in my own instinct, and this is just my own pure speculation, was because Ambode was doing too well, and he was a rising star, and Tinubu saw the signal that if this guy had a second term and his stock continues to rise within the Nigerian mindset, when it comes then to the 2023 elections, the name Ambode is going to be a name that a lot of Nigerians will resonate with and will relate with, and they will say he's young, he's fresh, and he's proven, and they'll push him forward. That's really my own instinct on why Tinubu pushed Ambode aside. So that's one thing. But really, where we're going to with this argument, with this discussion, with this video, with this conversation that I'm having with you guys, my friends, is that the power structure is now being played out in a way that might not even open up that possibility for a southern president, because the one person that has always nursed, there are two people in Nigeria that have nursed an ambition to be a Nigerian president. for 30 odd years. And those two names are Bola Ahmed Tinubu, of course, which you already know, and the other name is Malam El Rufai. Malam El Rufai has been nursing ambitions to be the Nigerian president since 1999 when Obasanjo came in. Because when Obasanjo came in, he wanted to come in, and I think people were prompting him to come in, but he couldn't come in. And then when Yar'Adua came in, they came to him again, and then suddenly he's now having the thought that my window of opportunity is about to pass. Because if we have a southerner president now after Buhari, then Malam El Rufai will just be far too old to have anything to do with the Nigerian space anymore. So he either becomes the next vice president, and then he does Goodluck Jonathan on the Yar'Adua of the president and then takes the spot, or he just gives up on the idea completely. So now there's movement now taking place by El Rufai, trying now to change the dynamics of the Nigerian space, because he's now trying to gather together like minds. So I think they are saying he's now trying to romance somebody like Babatunde Fashola, and then he's romancing obviously Rotimi Amechi. Rotimi Amechi can be romanced by anybody that has a dollar. So his own thing is money. If you have money, then he's interested. He'll drop his trousers and you can have your way with him. So he's romancing, and then he's romancing Adam Oshiomhole as well. So he's building a power structure to wrestle the APC power from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, if he succeeds in wrestling the APC party from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then really it's a free run for him then to become the next Nigerian president, because over the next 18 months, or at least halfway into the tenure of the Buhari regime, you will suddenly start to hear comments in the media and all these sponsored publications that all this power changing structure is not really what the country needs. Is not in the constitution. This, that, and the other. We need the best man for the job, and whoever the best man is, it doesn't matter where he comes from. That wasn't the argument when it was their turn to go, but that will be the argument now. So he will start to prepare the grounds for then having himself run as the APC candidate, and if he's able to wrestle the APC structure from the hands of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then it's a free run. And if you think that the APC is heavily weighted in the northern hands, then it's not really an impossible task to imagine him achieving that he is able to wrestle the APC party from the hands of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So this is just the opening salvo in something that is going on. I'll do a follow-on video on this where I'll read out some articles just to buttress this, but I don't want this video to drag on for too long, because I know a lot of my following is in Nigeria. I know that it costs new data to listen and watch my videos. So I'll end this here just to put this thought out there for you guys to engage with, and then to see what you make of it, and then we'll pick it up in subsequent videos. I will address it in full. But this is storms gathering in the firmament, and I'm alerting to the forebodings of things to come. So what do you make of this thing that I've just said? What are your thoughts? Come share those thoughts with me in the comment section. But before you come share those thoughts with me in the comment section, click on the red subscribe button so it goes gray, the bell button so you are notified as soon as I drop a new video. Haven't done that, then come have this conversation with me in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, meet you there, but here I'll say peace.